The 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the Washington Redskins. The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And we are underway from FedEx Field. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it we are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Dustin Hopkins has it on the tee, and here we go from our nation's capital. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Come on, let's go.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's Carson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man, it's Vanette. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3 and out. Now it's Carson, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Tempo. Check 50.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall, and it's 3rd down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That one good for 15 and a 1st. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. This is Carson, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
They run it with Carson. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, fellas. Hey, over here. 95.
And they'll run it here. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take out extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Now a toss play. It's Carson. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Sebastian Janikowski to try the Seahawks field goal. And Janikowski bangs it through. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Complete. Richardson has it. And all the way down to the 35. A huge play there for Washington. And even 40 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now a play fake here on 1st down. On the move to his left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Back to the air. Smith on 2nd down. Here's a screen to Powell. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Smith on 1st down. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Let's go. 15.
Again, Smith. Caught on the right side, Reed. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. On 1st down, Smith. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Smith throwing again. The quick slant caught. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Josh Doxson from 6 yards away. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. To the air again, Smith. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Seattle offense coming back onto the field, and you'd understand if they're a little sluggish. You know, they just took that quick little 4,800-mile jaunt to London to take on the Raiders. Well, they look good across the pond. They dominated that game 27-3.
To me, they feel like they're starting to hit their stride a little bit. You know, working out some of the kinks. Offensive line starting to come together. It's gotten a lot of criticism over the past few years. And Russell Wilson, back-to-back games with 3 touchdown passes. And how about Pete Carroll? 91st win for him, including the postseason. He passed Mike Holmgren for first in Seattle Seahawks history as the top head coach.
On first down, Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Throwing again here, Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tech roll that they can fall back on anymore.
The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Smith. And got his man complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. Here comes Johnson on the return. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice, and that often runs you into a penalty.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Here's Smith. Rolling to his right, and his throw's going to be incomplete. With that incompletion, let's discuss all the overtime games that we've had so far in the NFL. We've had 9 of them, at least 1 each week. Week 6, it was Miami and the Bears with the Dolphins getting the win.
Yeah, and you know something? That's an NFL record because that record was set week 5, an overtime game each of the first 5 weeks of the season. Now we're adding to the record, and I wouldn't doubt at all that we would get to 7 weeks and maybe beyond. It's been a very competitive NFL season.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Smith. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Oh, he goes up top. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They are going for it. It's Smith. Docks him with a grab over the middle. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Well, switching gears for a second, let's talk about all the offense that's been going on around the league.
Yes, please. Let's do it.
We've had 3 games where each team has scored 40 points. That didn't happen all of last year. And the most recent example, Week 6, that incredible 43-40 Pats win over the Chiefs.
A lot of people talk about when you make rules changes or you emphasize certain things that you have unintended consequences. Let's not kid ourselves. This was the intended consequence. Open up offenses, more scoring. We're seeing that, and we're seeing it, and fans are loving it. Defensive coordinators are hating it, but fans are loving it. And how about Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, that New England-Kansas City game? Big throw for big throw, touchdown for touchdown, and Brady guides them to a field goal to win it in the end.
Yeah, the elder statesman, because Patrick Mahomes was just 5 years old when Tom Brady threw his first touchdown pass in the NFL. Now it's Wilson. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And it is incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I'll guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Smith. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
3rd and long. It's Smith. Out to the left here to Reed. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. To throw is Wilson. Throw left side complete. It's Baldwin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to air this out into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They run again with Peterson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Here's a screen to Powell. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Hey, let's settle in. Come on, we're good. Hey.
Smith going to throw it. It's hauled in by Doxson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Smith finding Doxson that time for a Washington first. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. First down, here's a run with Peterson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't, reined in at the line of scrimmage. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's Smith. Now they go screen. It's complete. his yardage here, back at the 41. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. The Redskins on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be third and forever. Now Smith. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trusting his quarterback and trusting his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
Back to throw. The catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Wilson now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. One last shot for Wilson. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Redskins as we say so long from FedEx Field.